for this question, Stephen, what we want to ask you is, why is networking so important? And I'm going to emphasize, especially to students, why is it so important?
Yeah, so controversial point. One thing I will say is that you know how your teacher or lecturer had said, network with anyone and everyone. I disagree. I think networking is important, but it's about doing it effectively, right? If you think about it, right, networking with anyone and everyone, like really and truly, like you're not going to use and you're not going to utilize any and everyone. Like it's just never going to be that thing. You want to be able to network effectively and identify a select few people that are essentially like in the direction of like where you want to go. Right, that's number one. And then secondly, like I honestly think in-person networking events are just so useless. Like I'm so sorry. Like I just personally think like honestly, you probably go to like, if you go to 10 networking events, I'll be surprised if you like make like 3 good connections, because again, like networking events is a bunch of like random people and it's honestly like more for show than anything. I think networking online is super effective because you can see someone's profile online. It's a lot more easier. You feel like you can approach someone a lot more kind of thing. And when we take it to LinkedIn, for example, the perfect thing about LinkedIn, right, is that you see someone's profile, you know what they do, you know where they work, you know their alma mater. It's like creating like, it's already doing like half of the work for you. Like, you know what I mean? So for example, if you want to work in JP Morgan, right? And you go on LinkedIn, you type in JP Morgan, you can see someone that works in JP Morgan that's a mutual connection with a connection that you have that went to your university and so on and so forth. So with that being said, you have more of like a targeted message to send to them. And with that being said, it's kind of like you've networked effectively, right? Because you're reaching out to someone that's probably more likely to respond to you. Whereas like, if you network with someone like in person, that's just like a random person that you reach out to, first of all, you don't know who they are kind of thing. You end up talking to them and then that conversation might end up being useless because it's just like totally unrelated and like, it's not relevant kind of thing. So I would say like network effectively, that's number one. Now, in terms of like, why it's important for students in this day and age, in this climate where it's like super, super hard to get jobs, people are doing so many unconventional things to get jobs. Like I've seen some amazing testimonials on LinkedIn of how people are getting jobs, right? So again, if it means like, reaching out to like various different hiring managers on LinkedIn and being like, hi, like, I noticed there's no, jobs on your website kind of thing, but here's my CV, like, do that. I remember like, an unconventional thing that someone did recently that actually helped get a job. She told me that, so we'd kind of like worked on her CV, we'd identified the role she wanted to apply for. When she applied for the role, she looked for the hiring manager on LinkedIn, found them, connected with them, and then messaged them and said, hi, I just applied for your role. Like, did you get my application? And I honestly feel like that's the only reason why she ended up getting a job. Like, I honestly feel like that's the only reason why they progressed her through the application. Because if you think about it, the organization she ended up getting the job for, it's like a very, very big organization, right? So I just feel like they wouldn't have seen the application unless she did that. So again, these are just like the little subtle, unconventional ways to sort of get jobs. And you sort of see it on LinkedIn, like, right? There's so many different testimonials of how people have like reached out to people on LinkedIn and, asked like, hi, like, have you got a job in this area? Or can you look at my CV? Like a lot of people like reach out to me on a daily basis, like, asking me to like review their CV or they want to have like a 5-minute call. And, I'm so happy to do that because again, that's what the platform's there for. It's there for you to like network and, interact with people, right? So I feel like, I would encourage a lot more students to do it. And the thing is, I think a lot of people are afraid of like, getting no reply or no response, but it's part of it. It's part of it. It's like any social media platform. You send a DM to someone on Instagram and they air you. That's fine. Like it's part of the game. It builds character. So yeah.